listening about that. Flint Schools made a major decision here recently about closing some schools. And we've been getting a bunch of calls. Let me just be honest with you about what do you think about this? And some are saying, again, would you hire me over there? Because they're anticipating being released. So this is causing a little stir in the city. We've got a very perceptive board member. So hang on, we're going to talk some real serious business here in a while. But first of all, you got to please be reminded, we have open enrollment now for next year. You can enroll now if you need to. You can enroll now, no problem there at all. But if you're planning ahead for the year, please come on in. We have open enrollment. We've had project return. We've got well over, I think it's over about 96% of our kids intend to come back. And that's a pretty good statement. And generally that's what happens. So you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. We're going to have waiting lists in some of our grades. We do every year. So if you're thinking, folks, grandparents, parents, if you're thinking about enrolling, we suggest that you come on in and get the application filled out. We're already, we're not filling, but we're beginning to accumulate kindergarten enrollments right now. And we do have a kindergarten roundup coming up in April 9, 10, and 11, I believe, and we'll give you a little bit more information about that. Look for an ad in the CPSA Courier. You're going to see that in there soon as well. Well, anyway, folks, let's get moving. We got some great peoples with us today. I'm looking at people. What is your name, Mr. People? You guys share this mic. Go ahead, gentlemen.
Marcel Richmond.
Where do you go to school?
International Academy of Flint.
Would you consider moving to another school?
No.
I'm glad to hear that. Marcel and I have a lot of fun together. And who's that guy next to you?
Marquis Sanders.
Where are you from?
The same school.
Oh, same school. Okay, you two must know each other.
Yeah.
Oh, all right,
Very
okay.
well.
Oh, pretty darn well. And hey, I see a beautiful lady over here on my right. But she left, but here's Mary Sanders.
Oh, Mary, hit
Very
him.
nice,
Hit
good
him.
friends. Hi, Miss Sanders. It's
I
glad
might knock my hat off.
I love your hat, girl. I love your hat. How you doing today?
I couldn't be better. Excited about
Okay.
the things that we are going to talk about.
Okay, and I want to give you applause on the air. You've been a great, wonderful, super volunteer for years at our school. And because of your involvement as a parent volunteer, your young men have become involved with us as well. And they are constantly around the school helping here, doing this, helping change signs, raking, a host of things. And I think that is going to spill off for them when they become adults and fathers and parents. I think they're going to influence their young folks to probably do the same thing, because you bring a child up in the way that you do, and they will not depart from that. So I want to commend you publicly on TV for really the great job you're doing. And I kidded a little. Yeah, let's give her a hand. Thank you, everybody. That's great. That's great. And Mary's also a volunteer for the Salvation Army, ringing bells for them. And you just do great things. But hey, we got something special coming up here about the end of March. What were you doing last night, Miss Sanders?
I was, me and a crew, stuffing eggs
With what?
with candy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Lots of it.
Lots of, yeah, I know. So this is for something we have the end of March, and I know you're there on the site when we have it, and you've been buying prizes too. Tell us a little bit about what we do on that day, if you don't mind. I'll give a flyer. I'll lay
Every year it's getting better, but
thank you.
this year we're going to have prizes again, and ages
4 and under.
4 and under, and
Here's the flyer. I know you sometimes can't remember all that. That's okay.
4 and under, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8. So hope everyone comes out and enjoy this event with us.
Okay. Now we do this where in the school area?
Usually in the front.
Yeah, and it's all gated in. There's no kids can't get away from us, and parents come in with the little ones, and they have a good time searching for eggs.
With candy.
All right, everybody. And we buy some prizes and give those away. How do we handle that prize thing? I can't remember.
Well, some of them are going to be golden egg prizes.
Uh-oh, what's that mean?
That means you got to find that golden egg.
And then what happens?
And then you turn it into me before anybody else can
You're
take
the
it
golden
from
egg
you.
queen. Huh? Okay, all right. But everybody can't find a golden egg. But are there some other eggs for prizes?
Yes, there'll be other small prize.
Smaller than the big giant prizes. Okay. So we're going to probably put the word prize in the egg, right? So when it's open, candy might not fall out, but the word prize would be in there.
And keep that prize
And
table.
then
So you can
keep
get
it.
that prize.
And then they're going to head to our prize table, which we usually have right in the front of the school, and it works pretty well. And we have, I don't know what we had last year. We must have 150, 180, maybe, I don't know, we had 200 kids. We had a bunch, and we divided off into 3 sections, as Mary just alluded to. We have one section of the school by the pine tree, we call it, for the little peanuts, 4 and under. And of course, parents go in there with them naturally, and they search for these well-hidden eggs right on the grass most of the time. And we hide them in little bushes and things too, so the kids can search a little bit. And then that comes on in about, what's our time, Mary? What did we list? 11?
Yeah, that's important also, because
Yeah,
we don't
thank
like
you.
to have the 4-year-olds going with the 8-year-olds,
No.
so please get their own time. But the 4 and under is 11:40, 5 and 6-year-olds are 12 o'clock, and 7 and 8-year-olds go at 12:20.
12:20,
So you
okay.
really don't have that much time to, we'll probably run them 3 times within this 20 minutes,
Yeah.
so they can get all the eggs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we want
it's
we
really
want to give.
important to get there for the age of the child.
Yep,
'cause-
yep, because we start right on that time.
Yeah,
We open the gate and then they rush in there. Of course, the little ones don't run so much. The older kids fly in there. And then, you know, another big feature, if I'm not mistaken, is a big old, what do you got, Mary? What's the,
We're gonna have some clowns and some Easter bunnies.
is that right?
hopefully.
I can't believe it. Who's going to be a clown this year? Do we know?
Marquise is elected
Again?
to be a bunny, so
bunny.
I told him there's gonna be a fight about that, because I've already been told who's gonna be the bunny.
Oh,
so
okay. Well,
I
there's,
think he has the height now, and he wants to take advantage of that.
okay, well, bunnies have babies, so we'll have, excuse me, folks. I'm coughing here, I'm sorry about that. But we'll have one giant Easter bunny, and then, of course, every year, Walgreens, our good friends on Atherton and Dork, Walgreens drugstore people, they come over and take free pictures for our kids as well. We'll have a nice little, depends what the weather's like, could be indoor, could be outdoor. Usually it's outdoors if the sun is out. We'll have an outdoor a spot there for them to, with some Easter decorations and eggs and stuff like that around the area. And then we'll take a picture, free picture with the Easter Bunny. And if you'd like more than that one picture, then you'll have to pay for that through an ordering system. It's very simple and quite economical at Walgreens. So that's a good opportunity if you take advantage of that thing. And it's going to be Saturday, Easter Saturday, March 30th. And the Little Peanuts begin at 11:40 a.m. We do it a little bit later in the day so that the weather warms up just a tad and the sun gets a chance to come out. If the Lord will bless us on that day with sun, we trust He shall, then we'll have a nice time. And it's a good event, it really is. And we'll do a live broadcast from there, so I'll be running around. I won't be in an Easter Bunny outfit. I might have a funny hat or two on. And of course, you got my funny face. That you got to run with that one, folks. But anyway, and here's from my face. Okay, there you go. Well, anyway, we'll have some fun. We're going to have some fun. Doggone it, come on by and be there. You don't have to come to our school to be there. In fact, we'd like to see some new parents there. We're going to also hand out some information about our kindergarten enrollment and our school a little bit if you'd like to come on by. Well, okay, there we go. Young man, who ate the most candy last night? Oh, they're looking, these very innocent stares I'm getting. Who did? Who?
The other part of the crew.
The other part of the crew ate the most candy. I know they ate the most chicken. There's no doubt about that. That kid ate so much chicken he ended up going, "Buck, buck, 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 buck." He was cackling on the way out the door. But anyway, Marcel, you look so good today. You took your tie off. Why did you take your tie off?
Didn't want it.
Didn't want it. Okay, good reason. Well, okay, tell us what grade you're in here, buckaroo.
5th.
5th grade. Okay, what's your favorite subject? Don't you dare say recess. I will smack
Math.
every bit of you. Okay. Math? You like math, Emma? Good for you. And you're going to become a what as you mature in life, as a career?
Police officer.
Yeah, you were headed into law enforcement. I know that. In fact, I think your brother is too. Marquise, have you changed your attitude at all about that? You haven't. Okay. Well, that's good. And you're in what grade now?
8th.
You've been in 8th grade how many years?
1.
Oh, is that all? Okay. Folks, he's growing like a weed. I'm telling you, this kid at the beginning of the school year was 2'8", and now he's 5'3". So he's 5'8.5". I have to tell him audience. So you got to fight for that half inch, folks. Okay, all right. Marquise, you're headed into law enforcement as well.
Yeah.
Why is
In
that?
the
Tell
US
us, why do you choose to go into that, young man?
Because when I went to, it's a camp called Defy Camp.
Defy Camp, that's
Drug
right. Where was that
education.
at, you remember?
Camp
Nakonic, you got it. In fact, I was there that day,
Yep.
for one of the days. Yeah, that was a neat program. What did you learn out of Defy Camp?
Well, we learned about drugs, the way the law enforcement agencies
Okay.
work, and then we got to play around with all their stuff.
Okay, and plus, of course, we know that drugs are just not good for your body, your mind, or anything else, and it ruins many, many families and many, many lives. So we really want, in fact, I will bet you, folks, I've done no research on this, but I would up and bet you 80 to 90% of all those terrible deaths that we have in Flint by murder are drug-related or crime-related for sure. And I'll bet drug is a major influence in that. So, folks, if you have any influence on your young people at all, please encourage them strongly to stay away from that. And we do a pretty good job with that at school, folks. So if you're thinking about a safe place to send your kids as well, International Academy of Flint, I think, could answer the call on that one. Young man, thank you. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody that might be listening?
My dad.
Hey, okay. Hey, Pops, how you doing? Give him that. He's listening. Okay, and young man, who Marquise?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Everybody.
How about them 14 girlfriends you got? Could you say hi to them?
Yikes.
Oh, all of a sudden the blank, innocent stare, folks. I get this all
So
the time.
yeah, I
Who,
think
me?
the career night was much influence on his career.
Really?
Yes.
Hey, that's good to hear, because we have career night coming up in about a month. In fact, it's going to be almost a month to the day, Board Member Smith, April 18th. And we invite everybody to come to that career night. You'll hear more about that explicitly, but at least April 18th, 5:30 to 7 o'clock, International Academy, big high school gym. We'll have 40 to 50 professional careers represented, law enforcement among them. And of course the professions, the doctors, the dentists, the politicians, the veterinarians, the artists and dancers, just a host of folks, just a host. And we'll have about 5 colleges there as well. I've got commitments from 3 already, and 2, I didn't get a call back, but I know they're going to come as well. So this is an opportunity for folks from all over the city, grades 8 through 12. We prefer that. We don't require it, but we prefer that, grades 8 through 12. And the school that isn't ours, but the school that has the most kids there, we'll give them a free pizza party for the 8th grade class. If you are under, if you're in the 8th grade from some of the charters that we talked to, we're inviting all 8 charters, and we'll invite our friends from the Flint schools as well. And Genesee Christian, good school over here on Belsey, a great bunch of folks, and we will invite them as well. Several kids from that school came last year, Board Member Smith.
Yes, I remember that.
And I remember you participated in that event, didn't you?
I was there.
Oh, you were more than there, sir. You were the highlight of the whole program, I tell you. Well, anyway, any last call here from Mary, Marquise, and Marzell? Anything you want to say in closing before we get Board Member Smith on?
No.
Okay, well, we thank you for your volunteering constantly, Mary Sanders. And young man, you got a good mom, so hang in there. You got a good role model there. And thanks for all your volunteering. We appreciate that very, very much. Okay, and we got a few more eggs to do, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, how many eggs do you think we're going to lay out?
Probably.
1,000.
Probably at least 10, huh? 10,000, we got so many eggs. So please do. We
No one will
keep,
be left behind.
I don't know where we bought candy this year, but whoever it was, they made a killing on us. So anyway, there you go. And Mary's the chief stuffer. So thanks, Mary Sanders, and I love your hat. Gonna wear that in the Easter parade?
No.
I'm gonna get a new one?
No.
It's silent here in the community. Okay. Well, Sanders family, everybody, thanks so much. I'm going to applaud you guys for all your volunteering. Folks, it's great to have a family that loves the school, loves to volunteer, bringing kids up in the right way. Mom, you're doing a good job. Thank you so much. Board Member Smith, I'm going to ask you to pop in. I've already been talking about you in a roundabout way, saying that we were going to talk a little bit about a big event that was coming. And Jesse, no call yet, huh? 'Cause I was expecting a call in because we got a special event at our school this afternoon. I think it's called Little Miss IAF. And we got these little peanuts. I'm not sure the grades. It might be kindergarten, first, second. I don't know what the grades are, but there's a big deal going on there this afternoon. And I tried to get some of the kids that were organizing. This came from our senior high kids. They said, no, we want to do a Little Miss IAF. So all of our administrators said, okay, let's do it. So we're going to do that this afternoon. I'm going to head over there after and see how things are going. You wouldn't want to enter that, would you?
I thought you were in the ring.
You won last year. What are you talking about?
Oh, Paul
You
Herring,
can't
folks,
enter.
call in somebody, support me. Support me. I need help. I'm being ganged up on by these guys. Okay. Jesse, I appreciate you not commenting.
Wasn't
Thank
the
you.
tiara a giveaway?
And we're
Well,
lucky
well,
we-
Paul, I understand you came in second.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm not bitter.
A little ribbon and a jibbon. I'm glad we got Mary Sanders off the mic so she couldn't add her 2.5 cents to this, because she abuses me as well. But it's such a great time we have with our families. And Board Member Smith, you've got the Flint Journal out in front of you, and we're going to talk a little bit about an event that's going to affect clearly all of the city of Flint, certainly that have children naturally, but it's going to affect more than that. I mean, we're closing schools. Flint elected to do that. I haven't heard publicly. Well, there's some outcry on the M Live. You know, folks are
Yes,
kind of
very
some
much so.
concerns about that. I don't know if there's going to be a group that kind of doesn't want their school closed. I mean, most folks do not, so we can well understand that. I think the biggest heartache, likely there was one article I think about Flint Northern, the tremendous tradition that's been established over there, the great state athletic teams they've had, the great folks that have graduated and gone on to be doctors and dentists and a host of other things. I know Flint Northern, that's going to be a bit of a blow. Well, it was for Flint Central.
Yes,
When
very
they
much so.
closed. So they had the equal amount of state titles and academic wonders that came out of Flint Central as well. So this will be a major change, and I know you've maybe probably a little more reading than I did about this. Why don't I ask you just a very general question for the next 10-15 minutes? What is your reaction now as a citizen and as maybe a board member of our school?
Well, you know, any time that a school board has to make cuts is tough. And I don't know who has seen the article that was in yesterday's paper, but in the last 7 years, not counting the cuts that were just made, but in the last 7 years, the Flint schools have closed 16 buildings.
Okay.
When they close the 4 at the end of this year, that will leave them with 16 buildings to serve all the students in the city of Flint. Now, I tried to do, excuse me, I tried to do some quick research this morning. I could not find it, but you might be able to help me. Do you remember how many schools Flint had at its peak?
I might have been there during that time, frankly, sir. We had, there were 47 elementary schools, 47. Okay. I was responsible at one time for 23 of them, and another gentleman I worked with was responsible for 22 of them. That adds up to 46, doesn't it? Yeah, there must have been another school that wasn't really a regular elementary. So that was just the elementary schools.
So we had over 60 schools.
Oh, no question.
Okay.
Yes, sir, because we had 4 high schools and 8 middle schools.
Right.
Plus mod adult, plus a continuation school at that time.
Okay.
So yeah, you're right, sir. Yeah.
As a citizen, here are my concerns. One is, and it's in the paper, is that there is a concern about, are the schools that are left going to become overcrowded? That's a question that Flint School Board's going to have to answer. And I know that that's going to be a big concern of a lot of parents. The other concern I have, though, as a citizen, isn't really something that the school board can control, but something that our emergency manager, city council, and our mayor are going to have to look at. And if people remember, back in November, it was announced that the city of Flint was receiving a safe passage grant from the federal
I
government.
do remember that, sir.
And this was somewhere between $360,000 and $400,000. And it was earmarked for the Washington School area, which is one of the elementaries that's being closed.
They're hitting it.
And it was to be used for repairing sidewalks, fixing crosswalks, putting up some new cross signals at the corner of Davison and Franklin, and doing some road repair. And I know that Ed Kurtz, the emergency manager here in Flint, did sign off on that. There were no matching funds required, but there was a requirement that once the project was done, any additional upkeep, maintenance, etc., was the city's responsibility. As a taxpayer, my big concern now is if any of that money has been spent on a school that's being closed, do we
Yep.
need to pay it back?
Yeah.
You all know the city of Flint's in great financial
Yeah.
hardship.
Yep.
The article here in the paper says that the school board is looking at $11.5 million deficit. The closing of the 3 elementaries, because there's 3 elementaries that are closing, will save them about $1.2 million a year. So it still leaves them over $10 million deficit to cut between now and
$1 million per school?
no,
Or total?
the article says that the closure of the 3 elementary schools could save the district upwards of, yes, it is per
Okay.
school.
Yeah.
So that's 3.6, but that still leaves us about $8 million
Yeah.
that they need to find to cut. As an alumni of Flint Central High School, we had a bitter rivalry against all of our other high schools, but the biggest one was with
Yeah.
Northern. But I'm very sad to see that the city of Flint schools have closed the two oldest high schools in Flint. They are taking the tradition that we've had since 1923. Remember that, folks. 1923 is when Northern came around. And that's when Flint Central changed its name from Flint High to Flint Central. But we're losing the tradition. Northwestern and Southwestern are great schools, don't get me wrong. But why are we getting rid of the schools that have been here the longest? It just does not make sense to me. Let's keep the names, let's keep the tradition alive.
I think Northern was probably the last high school built, wasn't it?
Actually, the new Northern that they're in now is the last high school that was
school
built.
Yeah.
And that was built in the late 70s, early 80s, when the original Northern was torn down.
Right. Right. Now I know that, of course, there'll be some displacement. Northern will be kept open, but it will be for an alternative school. I think I'm correct on that, aren't I,
Yes,
sir?
that it's going to become an alternative school for 7th through 9th graders. I've not been able to get any other information on that yet, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do. It's alternative ed. When you think of alternative ed, you sometimes think of a school that's designed for students who've gotten into trouble and they're not allowed to go to a regular school, so they're able to go to this alternative. But there's not been much published on that yet, and I've not been able to find out. And I've not been able to call my good friend who's on the school board, Betty Ramsdale, but I am going to be calling her to find out what's going on.
I appreciate that information when you learn it. I know that Zimmerman will close. Of course, that's the adult school there, and they will go to Northern. And what I think the unknown is, what is the alternative grades 7 through 9? That's something I don't know anything about.
It's going to be at Northern, and that has yet to be.
I don't know what that will speak to.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, just so everybody knows, the mayor, and this is from the article, the mayor says that the school board's decision is consistent with data from the city's master plan process that pinpoints population declines. And I have to echo the mayor's comments that are here, and that is that I do applaud the school board and the superintendent for making a tough decision in a timely fashion. It's important that families have time to plan for the changes in this coming school year. And with that said, remember, folks, the International Academy of Flint is available. Call Art, call the main number. Art can give you those numbers faster than I can, but call us. We'd love to have you come and see our school, not because Flint's closing, not because they have financial problems, but because we believe we have the best education system in the city of Flint.
And as a follow-up, 605,000. I think you might know that number. One of the easiest in America, 605,000. And that's our school number, and you can ask for Art, or they'll connect you with me. We'll be glad to talk with you about that. Now, this is a major Flint decision, or Flint Schools decision. And now I know their superintendent pretty well, Larry Watkins. Folks, he's a good man. He really is. He's for kids, and I wish him personally very, very well. We have friends in the school district. I worked there for many years, as some of you may very well know. There's some great people within the district that truly care for children and really want to do the best for them. But when a district is under the pressure that they are, it's just hard. There's going to have to be a board member, something that you hate to do, and that is there has to be a reduction in staff somewhere down the line here. So some people are going to be jobless, most likely at the end of end of June for the ensuing school year. So there's a lot of heartache that could be happening here, not only for children and their families, but for employees of the district as well. But folks, I encourage you to play for the Flint School leadership, particularly Ari Watkins, as he moves through this. He's been a great personal friend, and I encourage you to do what you can about that. But on the other side, now this is the other side of me talking now, if you are uncomfortable with what's happening and you would like to come to a school that's been pretty solid here for the past 12 or 14 years, and with the academic accomplishments we've received, we're not going to brag about those, but we're certainly on the incline related to all the things that we do there consistently year after year. We'll not graduate a kid from our high school unless he or she has been accepted by a college before graduation. We will not graduate them. We have staff that works with kids to get that. We gave away nearly, board member, I think you know this of all people, you're a numbers guy, but we had nearly $500,000 in scholarships that we gave away to 40 kids last year that graduated. We'll have another 40, 42, 44 this year, and the scholarship dollars appear to be coming in from there as well. So again, we have a Spanish program, K through 12. So folks, think about us as you mull over what you'd like to do this year. If Flint is your choice, then may that be your best choice. We appreciate that. But if you want to consider under this duress that will be happening, if you'd like to consider us, we would love to talk with you about enrolling your child at our school. Jesse, do we have a call in? No, you're telling you're
1 minute.
okay. You're giving me 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Isn't that amazing, folks?
Yep.
Jesse
Time
doesn't do a
flies.
thing for 29 minutes. In the last minute, he's going crazy over there. But anyway, 605,000. That's the name of our school, and or our school's name is the International Academy of Flint. I'm getting a little flustered here. In fact, there's something I
Well,
need to
just
put
real
out.
quick, just
Yes,
so
sir,
everybody
please,
knows,
board member.
we are not happy that Flint has to do what they are.
Not at all.
We feel for
Yeah,
them,
that affects all
and
of
we
us.
just want to make sure everybody knows that there is a choice.
Yeah. And that affects everybody in the city when that school closed because there's property values and everything. Hey, I'm getting the high sign, so Paul Herring, we got to go here.
Gotta go.
If you are walking your dog, if you are playing with a blog, if you are driving your car in a fog, if you are jubilantly jumping gingerly over gigantic junipers while judicially practicing jet in a gym in Jamaica, look at somebody and say, woo! That is some kind of school.
Smile real nice, and ask you guys to come down and join the village. So if 1,000 of you guys come down and tell my dad you saw this commercial, I'll be set. Then again, we might as well make that 6,000, because my friends want in too.
Juneteenth, African American Independence Day, a time to reflect and rejoice.
June 16th through the 19th in downtown Flint. From noon to 9:30 every day.
Vending opportunities.
Oh yeah, there's still time to sign up. Contact us at 810-239-2901. That's 810-239-2901.
Juneteenth,
African American Independence Day. Join the village.
Did I say 25 cents?
Oh man, how you gonna play me like that?